Dime Dropper fam, what is up? Game 5. You already know what time it is. Series tied 2-2. I've been to a lot of these Game 5s, and the series has been tied 2-2 in my life, and we've lost every single one except for the first one I went to, which was a Donald Sterling game. That was Game 5 against the Warriors after the news had come out that Sterling was going to get blacklisted or whatever. That was an interesting night. This is going to be huge. Everybody's saying Luka's due for a big game. Let's see how it goes. I hope it's the loudest game of the two so far. But yeah, I mean, we lose tonight, we could be done, so gotta get it done. Let's get it, baby! Oh. White shirts tonight. Too many fucking props, if you ask me. Show me your props.
We got...
This is Toys R Us.
We got a fan. We got a spinning tail.
It's a little too much for me.
Oh my god. We got Target up in here.
Not a bad scene, not a bad scene. Woo! Yeah! Pleasure! Little animal. Woo! Maxi Klebas hit 3 threes in the second quarter.
Let's go Clippers! Let's go Clippers! Let's go Clippers! Let's go Clippers! Let's go Clippers!
There we go. Yeah!
Let's go!
That's right. That's right.
Defense! 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 Defense!
Oh, no.
Let's get it!
Timeout Clippers.
Maxi
Go,
Klebas just hit
Clips,
his
go!
4-3.
Go, Clips, go! Go, Clips, go! Go, Clips, go! Go, Clips, go! Go, Clips, go!
Take him. Okay. I don't love that shot. You gotta go by Luka, bro.
Defense! 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 Defense!
Yeah.
Let's
Oh my
go.
God. Are you serious? Boo! Boo! All right, Lauren. That was a tough ending to the half. What are your thoughts so far on the performance?
Not a bad half. It could have been worse because they were missing a lot of their shots. But we need to come out second half a lot better, a lot stronger, a lot more aggressive. PG and Harden need to be better. If they were just even half of themselves this half, for sure we'd be up by like 10.
This is your first playoff game of this playoffs, right?
Yes,
So what do you think of the noise so far?
It's not bad,
It
but it
died
can
down,
be better.
huh?
It can be better. I think the 207 section really needs to make sure the whole crowd gets into it.
So who do you want to see step up the most in that second half?
I think PG. I feel like Harden at least has been kind of, lobbing it and throwing it,
Getting
but
assists.
yes, but PG, I need more aggression out of him.
right.
Get Luka into foul trouble. That's what
We
we
win in
need.
this game?
Yes. Woo!
All right, halftime here with some of my boys. Matthew, Brandon, thoughts on the first half so far?
All right, it's been a very back and forth series. First half thoughts. We need, Kleba, we got to stop leaving him open. 4 for 5? What is it, 4 for 5? 4 for 4.
It's hard. You got to pick your poison. They have lob threats now.
You do. We got Lively in foul trouble. Gafford's going to the line a little too much. But we got to keep Luka, we got to keep him quiet. Kyrie, I'm a little afraid of in the second half.
Yeah.
I'm a little afraid because he's been quiet and he's deadly. As far as the Clippers go, the offense is where the real issues are.
Right.
Because defensively, we're doing a decent job. Paul George needs to be more aggressive.
Yep.
That's for sure. What else
I
you got?
agree. Second half, Paul George need to be more aggressive. And then just play good defense. Terrence Mann,
Yeah.
keep him out there.
Terrence and
He's
Sue are
been
giving
playing
us some
really good
stuff.
this half. And then
Harden's doing a good job on the drive.
just hopefully Luka get a little more foul trouble, and then we'll see in the second half.
Right.
every time Paul George has Derrick Jones Jr. on him or Luka on him, he needs to be aggressive. He needs to get to his spot. He needs to finish the play.
Exactly.
That's all we got from you. Clippers in 6. Go Clips.
Thanks, Darian.
All right, Andre, Dara, thoughts in the first half? Clippers down, what, 11 or 12 at half?
My thoughts is we are Lakering Russ. We are Lakering Russ.
Sitting in the corner, right?
We are Lakering Russ. We're never going to win with that. If him and Harden are on the court at the same time, Russ needs to bring the ball up. We cannot stick him in the corner. It's never going to work. It's what the Lakers did. That's why all Lakers fans hate him. It's making me hate him right now, but it's not even his fault.
Right.
It's just what we're doing. But it's frustrating to watch. And more Norm, less Russ if we're going to do that, because it will work and Norm will hit his shots. That's all I got. Clippers will win this game if we do that.
As a Laker fan, but also Clippers sympathizing today, what are your thoughts on what he just said?
Well, I mean, like my compadre said, Russ, Harden, and PG-13 combined 4 for 20 from the floor in the first half.
Wow.
Not going to happen in the second half. Clippers, they are comeback kings.
Okay.
Need to win at home. Likely this game series has been going 7 since the time it started. Very back and forth, but you know what they can all say? Fear the beard.
I like yours a little bit better. All right, Luka, down by 11 at half. Shaky ending to the half. What are your thoughts?
First off, Ty Lue, Zoo and T-Man, 13 and 11 respectively. Out of, there's 24 right there. You sit both of them with 2.5 left. I get they both have 2 fouls, but give them those minutes. T-Man's working his ass off. Zoo's our only source of offense. Paul, on the other hand, dude, we only go as far as he goes. He has 6 shots to this point, 7 points. It's not looking to be aggressive, and he's giving James too much time to just sit there dribbling.
Yeah.
It's been something we've both been talking about. Too many shots within 5 seconds of the shot clock. Harden's got to look. He's got to look to play make. He's forcing too much. And when you have Luka or Kleba on you, please go to the basket.
Right. Quickly.
Stop settling for contested jump shots.
Especially with 2 fouls on Luka.
Kyrie only has 6 right now, so that's something we did a good job of. But we have to stop letting Russ shoot corner threes. Get him on the ball more. Sit him. Norm needs more minutes too.
You think we can come back? Are we gonna come back?
PG turns up, we come back. PG plays like a little bitch like he is right now. No shot. Mavs in 6 if that happens.
I agree. Good stuff.
Let's go.
We're getting absolutely obliterated. Nobody has shown up besides Terrence and Zoo.
Defense! 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 Defense!
5 threes for Cleveland. 5 threes.
Let's go Clippers!
Let's go Clippers. Attack. There you go.
Defense! Defense! Defense!
Rebound, there we go.
Defense! Defense! Go Clips, go! Go Clips, go! Go Clips, go! Go Clips, go! Go Clips, go!
Pass.
Defense! 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 Defense!
Now we're flipping essentially.
Defense! Defense!
Hi, Ash. People don't walk in.
You're the security.
All right. Yeah, your security.
Go.
Good. All right.
Thanks for the security. Go.
Outside Staples Center where the Clippers have just lost Game 5 in a blowout. It might be our last game here. Jacob, what are the thoughts? What are the emotions?
Initial thoughts, man. I'm just disappointed. Harden and PG, I've been talking a lot of smack on Twitter saying that they're great, that they're going to show up, and then, of course, they disappoint in Game 5, the most important game. They don't show up.
Who are you more disappointed in? I mean, James Harden has kind of overachieved this series. We kind of knew this game was coming, but Paul George, I mean, it just wasn't enough, was it?
Well, Paul George is our max guy, man. I've been saying it all year. Paul George and Kawhi are the leaders, and they're going to, as far as they go, is as far as we go. And we needed him to show up today, and he didn't show up. He was making careless turnovers, terrible IQ. He's beating a guy like you always talk about. He beats a guy off the dribble, and then he pulls it back. It makes absolutely no sense. It's disappointing, man.
Do you think we got a chance to bring it back home? I mean, would you bet on us?
As a diehard Clippers fan, I'm always betting on us and that we're going to bring it back home. I still believe we can do it. We need a great game by Harden and PG again, like we did in Game 4, and I think we can bring it back home.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro.
Just a game.
You're going to be here Game 7?
Of course.
Outside Staples Center where the Clippers have just taken a big loss in Game 5. Maybe our last game at this arena. I mean, Trisha, what were the thoughts? It was brutal.
I miss Daddy Kawhi for sure. I mean, I guess if it is the last, I think we're going to go to a Game 7 because I believe in our team. If it is the last time we play here, then like that's crazy, and I guess I'm glad I was here for that moment. But wow, that's like heavy. No one showed up tonight. I don't feel like anyone played.
No Zubats or Terrence Mann?
Okay, Zoo and Terrence were fine. I guess when I say no one,
The big boys.
The big boys. The big boys who were supposed to show up did not show up and show out. Zoo's been steady great, though.
Yeah, this series has been great.
And you know what? We don't give Zoo enough credit, so thank you for pointing that out.
Or touches.
Correct. Like, yeah, it literally, like, it was rough. I'm bummed, but I think we're going to Game 7, so we'll see y'all back here.
Let's just say, though, we this was our last game at Staples Center. Is there any frustration with the constant having Kawhi out? I mean, I know it's not his fault, but at this point, it's become very tiresome for us fans. We don't have our main guy.
Well, I think the medical staff probably needs to be evaluated, genuinely. Yeah, it's frustrating, but I also feel like we shouldn't have brought him back for the game we brought him back for. We should have let him rest, and I understand he wanted to be there. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he pushed it, but, like, it sucks, like, that he played maybe when he shouldn't have, and now we are where we are. So, like, yeah, it's frustrating, it's sad, but, like, all love for Kawhi, and I'm hoping to see us all back here for Game 7.
Hopefully we get it done. Outside Staples Center where the Clippers have just taken a brutal L in Game 5. Rob, are we done or we got some fight left in the tank? What did you think of that game, man?
Look, that was obviously a terrible game, but these are the games where you really miss Kawhi. PG and Harden, the reality is they're a little inconsistent during the playoffs. Kawhi, in general, is almost always there, playing well, putting up efficient numbers.
Almost always where?
Well, yeah, not playing, but when he is playing, he's efficient for and he plays well. He doesn't have these stinkers like PG and Harden did tonight. So this is really rarely where you miss a guy like Kawhi.
Did you expect the stinker though from Harden? I feel like everybody was kind of seeing how well he played and we're like, eventually he was going to do this. But does Paul George get the same pass here?
No.
Do any of them get a pass?
In my eyes, no, none of them had a pass. I mean, look, it's been 5 games. PG had 2 stinkers. Harden had 2, I think, right? So, arguably. So, no, I mean, that's like almost half the games. You know, so they got to be better, period.
Are we going to bring it back home for Game 7 or are we done?
You know, look, I think even though we don't have Kawhi, we're not going to win a championship without Kawhi. If he comes back, maybe we got a shot. But even without Kawhi, I still truly believe that we can beat Dallas. So Clips in 7.
All right, love it. Hope to see you there on Sunday, man.
See you Sunday.
Hopefully it's not the last post-game interview of the season. Outside Staples Center where the Clippers have just taken a brutal L to the Dallas Mavericks. Benjamin, we talked during Game 1. Totally different kind of feeling after that one. How are you feeling after this one?
I feel, obviously very disappointed, but I think that the reason why we came out so bad today was because of, like, in my opinion, it was James' indecisiveness or maybe Ty Lue's indecisiveness. maybe they're a little too paranoid about, James having a stinker or these guys not getting, maybe throwing up some tough shots. And they ended up playing to like the defense of the Mavericks, which was like super like perimeter oriented. And then they try to get into the paint, but like they were taking tough paint shots. Like they weren't giving Zoo post ups. They weren't doing like, elbow P.
No elbow P.
No elbow P. It was just stupid, dude. It was so stupid. He was just doing the same old, dribble, tough shot. And it was annoying to watch.
A lot of dribbling overall from our stars. I mean, who are you more disappointed in? Or are you equally disappointed in both? I mean, Harden, he's had a really good series so far. I think we didn't expect him to play this well, and then obviously he had the game we were all waiting for.
Yeah.
But Paul George, I feel like we definitely needed more without Kawhi.
Yeah, it was Paul George for sure, the most disappointing one, because going into this game, I was like, PG is the one who's going to save us tonight. Like,
Game 5, Paul.
Game 5, and he was nowhere to be found, man. All my friend who's like, big Paul George stan was like, going to the fourth quarter, he was like, yeah, Paul George sucks. Because it's like, dude, tonight he was just having a bad game. But, I think next game we do have a chance, but what we got to do is we got to really like, I know it might be a bad strategy to put out there, but I think it's just shoot from the three, because that's what they did. Kleba, going into the third or fourth quarter, had more points combined than Paul George and Harden. He had 4 3-pointers like at the half, and we only had like 4 as a team.
Yeah.
And he had 4 by himself.
We weren't hitting our threes. All right, so last question before we go. This might be the last game we have here. If we do lose in 6 games because Kawhi wasn't healthy, what do we do?
I think this is a hot take. So Kawhi is on a contract. I think they should trade Kawhi, because Kawhi has value to teams like the Kings, who need a forward.
Need a superstar.
And they need a superstar, yeah. And Paul George, I saw a report earlier that was like he like the Magic and Philly's interested, but I don't think that, Magic is a more realistic scenario for the Clips to benefit from. But I don't think that, that would benefit, sending Paul George to Philly. I think that they should trade Kawhi.
So you're saying let's go a different direction, essentially.
I would say one of the stars needs to go, because you obviously can't re-sign Harden with Kawhi and Paul George on the team and Russell Westbrook. So I think if you want to keep Russ and Harden, you got to trade either Kawhi or Paul. And I mean, Kawhi is the one who's never there in the postseason. And I'm a Kawhi fan. I love him to death, man. But you got to be objective. You got to be objective. He's never there in the postseason, ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you, Benjamin.
Of course, you too, Darian. Thank you, man.
No problem.
It was good to see you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Outside Staples Center, where the Clippers have just taken a brutal L, the worst game of the playoffs for us so far. DL2, man. What was your analysis on that one?
Man, ain't no analysis, man. We played like shit. We got 30 pieces at home in a Game 5. Game 5 PG was nowhere to be found. Game 5, nobody was nowhere to be found, man. Everybody's reputation came to a screeching halt.
Nobody was good today for you?
Well, I mean, Bones Highland had a good...
Actual players that played rotation minutes?
No, everybody played like shit.
Even Zoo and Terrence? Everyone's saying Zoo and Terrence and then no one else.
I mean, it's Zoo and T for me, because I'm going to tell a little story real quick. I got invited to Media Day as a 207 leader, and I got to ask a question. It's not on video. I should have filmed it myself. But I asked Zoo and T, they're the longest tenured Clippers, what the culture is like for them. And they kind of gave an answer that I don't think any other teammate would be capable of giving. And they just have the history, they have the grit, they have the drive to like really win something for us. And they were the 2 guys at Media Day that were saying, we know how the fans feel. We feel like, we're letting you down, and we really want to get this right this year. And I see that in every game. But in this game, they played as well as they could have, and they were the only guys who really gave a fuck. But it's just not enough. And damn, she got some big tickets. Anywho.
That's not getting cut either.
It's not. Anyway, who should get cut is Mason Plumlee.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he
was getting shat on.
I'm just doing a little segue, because you got to edit that out, though. Anyway, it was just a lot of misjudging. Tice didn't get to play. Bones didn't get to play. Zoo and T-Man were the only ones that really wanted to win. But
they were out at the same time twice.
Yeah, and it was just a lot of exasperation. They just seemed let down by the lack of effort from the stars. They seemed let down by the fact that they just weren't really sinking their shots and weren't getting a lot of good plays, a lot of foul calls. And it just is what it is. Everybody's a little bit fed up, and seeing Zoo and T-Man kind of, exhibit that exasperation and show it physically, it manifested itself. I wasn't hearing it. It wasn't vocal. Nobody really got down and play that Pat Bev role to look at everybody and say, what the fuck? What are we doing? Can we amp it up a little bit? Somebody do something. Clapping their hands, getting animated a little bit. I know it sounds dumb, but that's what I like to see sometimes from my team, especially if they're going to get 30 pieces at home. I just want somebody to give a fuck.
All right, is this going to be the last game we have here?
Fuck no.
Okay. See you there on Sunday then. Outside Staples Center, where the Clippers have just taken a brutal loss in Game 5 to Dallas. Stoney, thoughts on that one?
That was definitely one of the worst games that I've had the pleasure of watching with my own eyes. It was because last playoff game I came to was Game 6 against the Jazz. So, coming from that shit to this, we were down 20 at half last time. You never put your head down until it's 6 minutes left. Zubac still isn't, or 9 minutes left. Zubac was still not in the game. I don't care if he has 3 fouls. I don't want Plumlee on the fucking court.
He was in too long.
Way too long, not doing fucking anything. I think it's crazy. For most of the regular season, we had Tice as the backup center.
Right.
And,
and during our best stretch of the season, we had him at the backup center.
Right, and we just forget that we have him, bro. I think that's the craziest thing. But we need actual height. Lively was doing decent, but whenever Gafford's out there, we got to take advantage of that shit. It's always a mismatch. So, the fact that we're just not even looking to go to Zoo in the post, we're just doing an ISO for 14 seconds, 18 fucking seconds, and then we just throw a grenade to somebody. It's not good basketball.
It's not. And every time we got the ball to Zoo in the post, it felt like we got a decent look.
Either an and one, a foul, something's being generated. He's an underrated playmaker out of the post too, because they're always going to throw 2 bodies at him.
Right.
It's just it's an actual offense. Whenever we're just doing ISO ball for 15 seconds, it's just not sustainable. We've known that, and when PG's not even looking to score, it's just it's just not even fun to watch. It really isn't.
Are we done, man? Or are we coming back for Game 7?
Definitely always delusional. Definitely always going to believe. Winning one in Dallas depends on, I don't know if we want Kawhi back, because
I think at this point we just got to bite the bullet and say no Kawhi. That's what we got here, right? But I get it, because if you go out without Kawhi, it's we're going another season without Kawhi in the playoffs.
Yeah, if he's willing to come back on some Dorian Finney-Smith, just 3-and-D, just stay on Luka for 40 minutes, just match the minutes.
That would be interesting.
That would be fun, because if PG wants to play and shoot the fucking ball, and we have Kawhi to just be the Spurs baby version of himself, that's definitely something. But it's just he doesn't have the biggest ego, so he definitely I feel like he could be capable of doing that. But it's just is he even gonna? And I don't know if you saw too in the second quarter, whenever the first time out happened, T-Man said some shit to Russ, and Russ just smacked his hand. Really? Russ got subbed out. Russ put a shirt on, was not even sitting with the team.
Whoa, I didn't see that.
I'm gonna try and look back for a clip of that shit, but it was definitely some synergy was not right there. Russ' minutes were 3 boards in the first half. I think that's all he did.
Yeah, had a little bit at the end of the third, but it was already down. We're already down 20. He had a rough stretch.
At that point, yeah, it's really just hard to claw back. I don't think we had a single run whenever we got a stop. It was just bucket for bucket, just going back and fucking forth. Luka's best game of the series too.
Yeah,
it's hard to win on those games. When we don't capitalize on Luka's stinkers, he comes out and gives us a 30-point triple-double. It's gonna be hard to win that.
Yep. Well, hopefully we'll be back on Sunday for one more. Appreciate you, bro.
Nice meeting you.
You gonna be here?
Yeah.
All right. Outside Staples Center after Game 5, where the Clippers have just gotten absolutely shellacked by Dallas. Mason, that was by far the most disappointing performance of the series. How you feeling? What are your thoughts?
Well, that sucked. When you have a stretch where you miss 14 straight threes, you're not going to win basketball games.
14?
I'll say, I'm sure all the Rocket fans watching got PTSD to that one game where they missed 22 of them in a row. Just miserable. God, so many moments. It was so close, and then just as time went along, it slowly got progressively more and more out of reach. And there were moments that just killed the crowd. The crowd was doing okay, and then at some point in the second, the Mavs just permanently killed the crowd.
And do you think as a crowd we should be better than that, or do you think it's just more on the players giving us something to cheer about?
Yes. The answer is both. The crowd should be better, but also, the team was not playing well. They were not capitalizing on any of their turnovers. Just miserable. Everyone seemed to have a bad game, and I just want one time where everyone's healthy. I just want one time where we all play up the potential.
Was this our last game in 207 together this year?
No, I'll see you Sunday.
All right, then. Appreciate you. All right, Luka. Outside Staples Center, where the Clippers have just gotten absolutely destroyed by Dallas. Luka, Game 5. That was rough, man.
That was awful.
as we said on the way here, the big thing was PG Game 5. That's been something that's been consistent. Think back to 2021, both the Suns and Jazz series, but today he was a no-show. 4 for 13 from the field, and honestly, he just had his head down for most of the game. But more so to me, it's James Harden. That's something, he's been awesome for us, so obviously a stinker was coming. Playoff Harden is a thing, but 2 for 12 from the field, 4 turnovers, and just settling too much. One thing he's done all postseason is over-dribble, and too many shots today came with 5 to 6 seconds left on the clock or under, and it makes life difficult for the Terrence Manns of the world, the Amir Coffey, who Coffey was 1 for 6, but at least one of those was a late in the shot clock, get the ball up type of shot.
Is there any way we can turn this around and bring it back?
Starts with Paul's aggression, but today was Kyrie, 12 points, like that defensive intensity. And honestly, Ty Lue has to realize PJ Tucker had an awesome stretch today. Those 10 minutes, he looked pretty solid.
Wasn't bad.
Pretty solid. So if I'm him, I'm moving away from Plumlee. This has been something I've been saying all postseason, but they're targeting Plumlee, they're trying to get the switches, and they're playing drop, which is why they're getting so many lobs. Move to a guy like Tucker you can switch everything with, and just live with that.
That was weird that we had Tucker in, but not at the 5.
Exactly. Plumlee, Russ, and Tucker all in together. That's no shooting between the 3 of them. And Russ, he makes me think maybe we need some busy in our life. Maybe we need some type of look to score energy piece, because what we have right now isn't working.
Appreciate you, bro.
Oh. I'm gonna gather my thoughts, brother.
I'm rolling, by the way. I got hella outtakes, bro.
Outside Staples Center, where we just got embarrassed in Game 5. I don't know what to say, man. I think there was an obvious chance and thought that this could happen. James Harden, I mean, we knew there was a game that was coming. I got nothing to say about him. Paul George, though, man, I expected so much more. When we had Luka switched on at James and Paul, did not attack him quick enough. So much bullshit dribbling. So much. Both of them. Stagnant, no movement, no ball movement, no player movement. If you do not move the ball and you do not move your bodies, you're not going to beat a good defense in the postseason in the NBA. No era, this era, past era, any era. You're not going to win. No second side action, no nothing, no moving the ball quick. Zubats, everyone's talking about it. He was clearly our most efficient source of offense, it seems. Don't feed him the ball in the post enough because it's the modern NBA and we don't like feeding up post big men if they're not stars. And then Russ, really rough minutes, especially when he's out there with Harden and another big, because the ball's going to be in Harden's hands. We have one non-shooter, then we have Russ, and he's taking the bait too much. He's been taking the bait too much all series. The only good stretch he had was at the end of the third quarter without Harden, then we pulled him out right away. So, I mean, the slower we play, the worse guys like Amir, Terrence, and Russ look. We're playing too slow, and that definitely falls on Harden to a large degree. Ty Lue, I have some problems with the fact that our 2 best players were Terrence and Zoo, and he takes them out at the same time. We've been begging for Tice all series. We got none of it. Plumlee, we started hedging on the screens with him, throwing 2 at the ball, and then Kleba started making 3s. Plumlee was just worthless, just doing cardio. But I'm very disappointed in Paul George, man. No elbow P, no mid-post P. Everything is beyond the arc, complicated. Then I have to watch Harden dribble the ball so much. The thing is, when we have Russ and Paul on the controls, it feels like we get more off-ball action, but we don't have a pick-and-roll threat, right? With Harden, we don't really get as much off-ball stuff, but we have an amazing pick-and-roll threat. But you got to give Derek Lively and Maxi Kleba and those guys credit. They did a good job defending. They cut off the paint really nice, and we could not make 3s as a team at all. So there's not much else to say. Is this the end? I don't know. I think if the Mavericks are as good of a team as they think they are and as the fans have claimed they are, they should finish us off. And it comes down to the fact that Paul George and James Harden, I think Harden has done enough through 5 games, in my opinion. I think Zubats has been our most consistent player of the series and the guy I'm most satisfied with through 5 games. I don't think he's really had a bad game. But ultimately, Paul George and James Harden are being asked to do more than they were expected to do because our number 1 guy is not available again. I'm going to save the hot takes. I'm going to save the bold shit. But everybody knows how I feel about this team. And maybe, just maybe, the misery will end soon. I want this team blown the fuck up, dude. I've been saying it for a year. I'm done with these guys.